The News 4 Rundown starts now.
Welcome in, everybody. I'm Jim Hadley. It's Thursday, July 2nd, and here's a look at some of the stories we're working on for you tonight. Triple-digit temps, the dangerous heat sticking around through the holiday weekend, when we could finally see some relief, and what you need to know to stay safe as these temperatures soar. Plus, if you're heading down to the National Mall for the 4th, Metro wants to be your ride there and back. How the transit system is preparing for the massive crowds and all the heat. And retirement delayed. Alex Ovechkin is returning for a 22nd season. Details on the one-year deal he signed with the Washington Capitals. Well, as predicted, folks, we broke a record. Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Doug Kammerer is working for you tonight, tracking this extreme heat and what to expect for the big 4th of July celebrations. Doug?
Yeah, Jim, that's the really big question because I'm expecting severe storms during the day on Saturday. It's all about the timing for those. I was expecting a high temperature today of 102 degrees, and that's exactly where we went. 102 D.C., 101 in Warrenton, 101 Baltimore. Dulles coming in, tying a record of 98. But yeah, that 102 beating a record high of 101 set back in 1898. How about that? Record high temperatures out there right now. It looks nice, but boy, is it still on the hot side. I mean, here we are at 7:30 at night, and notice the heat index. It's still at 107 right now. 104 in Hagerstown, 110 in Philly, 108 towards Richmond. The cool spot, 97 over towards Ocean City, so still extreme heat around the area, and we have that extreme heat warning right on through Saturday. Satellite radar not showing anything around our area. As a matter of fact, high pressure tends to lower the chance for any clouds, so we're not going to get thunderstorms out of it, but that is going to be increasing. The chance for thunderstorms will be increasing over the next couple of days. Extreme heat warning in effect through the day on Saturday for everybody across our entire area for that heat index. Once again, tomorrow and Saturday, getting up to about 110 and maybe even Sunday, too. Now, your weather headlines, dangerous heat through Sunday. Even Sunday, I think we see either an extreme heat warning or a heat advisory. Tracking severe storm potential both tomorrow and Saturday. But really, the best chance of storms is Saturday and Sunday. We're going to be tracking that for you for sure. And the timing of these storms, of course, for the 4th is the biggest question. When do they come in? Will they impact our activities and our fireworks displays around the area? I'll have your hour-by-hour forecast coming up.
All right, we'll see you in a bit. Doug, thank you. Officials are urging everyone to limit their time outdoors if possible. But for many workers, that's not an option. News 4's Amy Cho has a look now at how people are coping with the extreme conditions.
Just for comparison, the temperatures in Death Valley, California are only a few degrees hotter than what we are seeing here in the D.C. region, and it certainly feels like that. Now, obviously, some people do not have the luxury of staying inside. I spoke with this group of construction workers who tell me they have to be outside for 8.5 hours in this heat.
Not good. It's very hot today.
Don't rush. Don't move too much. Stay hydrated.
We got to drink a lot of water. We take a little bit of break, 10-minute breaks, get in the shade, and just relax, really. Just stay out of the sun. It's really hot today.
Storm Team 4 says our entire region is under an extreme heat warning through the 4th of July, and with highs forecasted over 100 degrees. Many outdoor events this holiday weekend have either been canceled or moved inside.
It's like it radiates at you from every angle because of all the concrete, right? And so it's just like oppressive, and you just can't escape it.
In DC, it's a little humid as well, not just the heat. So I think that's why it feels worse than it is.
I'm from Miami, and this is hot. This is very hot. So I don't think I'm going to make it. I'm going to go back inside.
All right, I'll let you do that.
Thank you so much.
Others were in no rush to get inside, like these visitors at the local splash parks.
We expect to be very busy this weekend and want to be able to have as many people as possible enjoy our pools.
Finding ways to keep cool as the D.C. region gets ready for several more days of severe summer weather. Amy Cho, News 4.
We're all feeling this heat this week as temperatures climb into triple digits. While many of us are thinking about ways to keep cool, doctors are reminding us that the extreme heat can put a serious strain on the body, especially the heart. Dr. Monica Shaw, president of the American Heart Association Greater Washington Board of Directors and chief medical officer at Nuevacor, joins us now live to help understand the risks and how to keep safe. Dr. Shaw, what exactly does extreme heat do to the heart and cardiovascular system?
Well, thank you, Jim, and it's a pleasure to be here today to tell you more about this. So heat is actually quite dangerous, actually, to patients with underlying heart conditions. What can happen with extreme heat is that the blood vessels dilate, the heart beats faster, you sweat quite a bit, and so then the electrolytes are lost through the skin. So all of that is a really difficult, it's a big load on the heart. If you have a normal heart or a healthy heart, it's even a lot for that. But if you have an underlying heart condition, it can really put a strain on the heart.
A lot of people still want to exercise, Dr. Shaw, and spend time outside. What precautions should they be taking?
Yeah, so if you can avoid being out in the direct sun and the direct heat, that's great. Stay inside, stay in air-conditioned environments. That's really important. If you are outside, be sure to be drinking lots of fluids, lots of electrolyte-rich fluids. That's really important as well. And, wear light clothing and make sure that you just take care of yourself and use good judgment about being outside.
And what symptoms of heat exhaustion and heat stroke should people be watching out for?
So the common symptoms are feeling dizzy, lightheaded. That's when you sweat a lot, you lose a lot of fluid, and so that can lead to those symptoms. You can also get headaches, nausea, and vomiting. And sometimes you can get palpitations if you lose a lot of fluid as well. So those are the things to be looking out for in this extreme heat.
Is there any risk, and we always say drink lots of water, is there any risk for some people not to drink too much water or too much water all at once?
Yeah, it's probably unlikely to be able to do that. It's important to drink electrolyte type of water and that, Gatorade and things like that. That's really great. But it's really hard to overdo it on the water. So I think it's important to stay hydrated.
And what's your best advice for people attending 4th of July festivities outside this weekend?
I think everyone should have a great time, have fun. Again, use your judgment. If you can watch on TV, that's fantastic. Make sure if you do have heart conditions to take your medications and drink lots of water.
All right. We keep one more thing. We keep talking about water. For some, fun means drinking alcohol. In the extreme heat, that can have a big impact on your body.
That's right. So limiting the amounts of alcohol, making sure that you're drinking, again, electrolyte-rich fluids is really important. And again, just, using your judgment about how often to stay outside and what you're taking in and consuming is really important.
Dr. Monica Shaw, thank you for your wisdom. We really appreciate it. We all need to hear it. Thank you for taking time with us.
Pleasure to be here, and happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th to you as well. Thanks. Well, Metro is gearing up for what could be one of the busiest days in recent memory. The transit agency has spent months preparing for the 4th of July and America 250 celebrations. But another challenge, the potential for record heat, is also top of mind. Officials say they're prepared for both. News 4's Mauricio Casillas got an inside look at how Metro is working to keep you safe this 4th.
4th of July is nearly here, and if you're planning on coming down to the National Mall for any of the festivities, Metro is absolutely your best bet. Last year, more than 683,000 people used Metro, and they're expecting even more this year. Today, we got a behind-the-scenes look at how Metro is preparing not only for the big crowds, but also for the impact of the dangerous heat.
Speed's not exceed 5 miles per hour.
Inside Metro's Command and Communications Center, you get a real-time look at everything happening across the system. The nerve center that keeps it all running. Here, crews monitor every train and bus and watch live camera feeds from inside and outside stations. That allows them to respond to incidents almost instantly. Come the 4th of July, this room will be especially busy.
July 4th is kind of our annual Super Bowl kind of test here for the region, but especially at Metro.
Metro General Manager Randy Clark says riders can expect trains every couple of minutes at the busiest stations near the National Mall. Fares will be free system-wide on the 4th from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. Metro has also been working closely with federal and local law enforcement, with safety top of mind as the region marks this historic milestone.
We know that there's pressure. We want to deliver that for this community. We want to deliver for our country. It's July 4th. It's 250th. We want to deliver for the country.
The heat, of course, will also be a major factor, but Metro doesn't expect it to significantly disrupt service. It could mean some trains have to slow down during peak heat hours. Crews are also making sure train cars stay cool for riders.
We have mechanics riding the system and actively using their, temperature guns to check temperature to ensure we're monitoring reports of hot cars.
Metro Transit Police will have an increased presence throughout the system, and they're urging riders to stay alert and report anything suspicious.
We have a very detailed plan. It's all hands on deck, and we are ready.
A word of advice from Metro, they're expecting their busiest stations to be Smithsonian, L'Enfant Plaza, Federal Triangle, and Arlington National Cemetery. But there are other stops like Potomac Yard or Anacostia that'll be less busy and will still provide a great view of the fireworks. Reporting from the National Mall, Mauricio Casillas, News 4.
The heat isn't the only thing we're seeing a lot of this 4th of July holiday. Still to come tonight on the News 4 Rundown, why some say America's milestone celebration has become too politicized. The News 4 I-Team's Ted Oberg joins us for more context. Plus, the Great Eight returning to Washington Capitals for his 22nd NHL season. JP Finley joins us with more on why this isn't a farewell tour. Doug?
Yeah, excited to see he'll be back on the ice. For us, not excited about severe weather. That threat coming our way during the day out there on Saturday, your July 4th holiday. But what else do the storms bring with them? We'll talk much more about that. See you back here in a minute.
With the 4th just 2 days away now, the district has been transformed to meet the moment. Final preparations for what we're told will be the largest fireworks display ever are almost done. But it's not the fireworks that are bigger this year. Plenty of critics are suggesting the politics are too. For more context on this 250th celebration, we turn to the News 4 I-Team's Ted Oberg.
U.S. presidents have always been a part of July 4th celebrations. In 1788, a year before he was even president, historians say George Washington doubled his troops' ration of rum to a full cup that day. In 1801, the White House Historical Association says President Jefferson welcomed dignitaries inside the brand new president's house and hosted horse racing out on the lawn. In 1986, Ronald Reagan rededicated the renovated Statue of Liberty.
America's past, of which we're so proud.
We could go on, but the point is, July 4th won't pass without a president doing something.
It's true. Neither will Thanksgiving or Flag Day or,
MJ Rimza Pavlovska is a professor of public history at American University who wrote her dissertation on the 1976 bicentennial. Back then, President Ford addressed the nation twice that day.
Liberty is for all men and women.
But there were thousands of official celebrations that year.
Americans by 1976 had been organizing stuff for, 10 to 15 years.
Many of those events funded by the U.S. government. Records show the U.S. government funneled just shy of $20 million to states and local governments for festivities. By today's dollars, it's more than $116 million. Events, big and small. The D.C. fireworks, yep, but a wagon train across the country, a nationwide quilting collection, a community cleanup in Boston, and on and on.
So how is this year different?
I think that the best types of commemorations are the ones that account for multiple perspectives and opinions. I don't see this year's official commemorations doing that.
It's going to be great. It's going to be unbelievable.
She says plans for this year's celebrations are different. Not just in tone.
I am thrilled to declare that America is back.
But in funding, too. Just as in 1976, Congress set aside money to commemorate America's 250th birthday, $150 million. But federal government records show that America 250, the bipartisan group created by Congress to help commemorate this grand birthday, has only received $25 million, according to reporting from the Associated Press. Instead, federal records show and Notice reports the Department of Interior has directed more than $68 million, 3 times as much, to Freedom 250. That's the nonprofit housed in the National Park Foundation, run by a former Trump appointee and supported by a task force chaired by the president himself.
It is unprecedented. This taking of the public money to go to a private, partisan, MAGA-fueled enterprise never happened.
Rob Weissman is the co-president of Public Citizen, a watchdog group which has researched where the taxpayer dollars went and the corporate donations that followed. Public Citizen found $103 million federal dollars in what they call politicized spending on what Freedom 250 calls signature events, many involving Trump and his allies.
The whole Freedom 250 exercise is a hijacking of what Congress had planned for the 250th celebration, which was a nonpartisan celebration of America, our history, looking forward, a coming together moment.
On its website, Freedom 250 claims 16 patriotic ways to celebrate that Great American State Fair, the president's trip to Mount Rushmore, part of the IndyCar race around the mall, and what Trump has called the world's largest fireworks show ever, right here in D.C., all of them featuring the president and his allies.
It's a MAGA Trump pep rally, and he has said so.
In a statement to News 4, a Freedom 250 spokesperson pushed back on Public Citizen's concerns, saying, as we approach this historic milestone in our nation's founding, we will not be deterred by any partisan outrage or political theater. The president is deeply grateful for the support of his donors, but unlike the politicians of the past, he can't be bought. Freedom 250 is sparking a unifying movement that celebrates the American spirit and showcases our nation at its best.
On a very basic level, who does July 4th belong to?
July 4th should belong to everyone.
But Professor Rimsa Pavlovska worries some Americans just won't see themselves in this year's celebration.
What commemorations do best is they force us to take a pause and to really stop and think not only how far we've come, but also how far we have to go.
America 250 declined to discuss specific funding levels with the I-Team, but told us just last week, we are grateful for all the support we've received from Congress and private organizations and continue to work to raise the funds we need to complete our work on a celebration that is worthy of the anniversary it commemorates. Keep in mind, that was less than 2 weeks away from an anniversary they'd been planning for 10 years, and they're still raising money. I'm Ted Oberg for the News 4 I-Team.
Ted, thank you. If you're still trying to plan your big summer vacation this year, you're not alone. Summer travel trends for 26 have been a mix of high-budget, one-big trip vacations alongside a surge in local road trips. The most popular destinations this summer as people celebrate America's 250th birthday have been places that are critical to American history. Philadelphia, D.C., Boston, national parks where people can hike and do activities, and places to beat the heat like Fairbanks and Anchorage, Alaska. That sounds good right about now, Doug Kammerer.
Yeah, I just saw some friends of mine here in Bethesda area. I just saw their pictures. They're up in Alaska.
Oh.
Yeah, nice and cool weather up that way.
Did you tell them to flee?
Yeah, I'm like, you go. When should we go? You should go July 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
All right.
Because that's the heat, man. You know,
that's it.
That's the record high temperatures. We set a record today. I fully expect to see records tomorrow and again for the 4th of July. Out there right now, it is a very hot, very humid day. Here we are in the 7 o'clock hour. It's still 98 degrees. The heat index of 107 degrees. Right now, after a high temperature got to 102, record high, and the heat index got to 112 at one point. 95 Leesburg and in Manassas, 97 Gaithersburg, 94 Patuxent River. Frederick says 100. I think that's a little high, but still, it's very hot. Humidity is still out there, too, so the heat index 108 Gaithersburg, 109 Manassas, 105 Patuxent River coming in right now at 103 in Fredericksburg. Same thing, Huntingtown, Prince Frederick also right around that 105-degree mark, so it is cold. It is hot, cold. No, it's not. It's super hot. Extreme heat in effect through the day on Saturday. It included all day today, includes tomorrow, includes Saturday. May include Sunday, but I'm thinking Sunday's probably going to be more heat advisory criteria with temperatures a little bit less. Storm Team 4 radar tracking the rain out there, not in our area, but back to the north and west. Anytime you have high pressure, and you can see that right here. How can you see that? Well, notice there's not a cloud in the sky here. That high pressure area provides what's called subsidence, meaning that everything is sinking. The air is sinking. And in order to get clouds and storms, you need rising air. Well, the rising air is all around that. I've been calling it, I told you in the last couple of days, the ring of fire. So just track it with me. Going down, notice these storms going east to west and then back up towards Chicago. Severe weather with these. This will move our way over the next couple of days. There will be a chance of storms tomorrow. but a much better chance area-wide on Saturday. Look at this. Everybody in our area is under what's called a slight risk, level 2 out of 5 for severe weather. Now, I don't like that word slight. Doesn't sound like a lot, but what that tells me is there's a good chance for at least a few severe thunderstorms on Saturday, and any storms that develop could be very strong on Saturday. So let's take you through Saturday. First off, once again, could be a couple storms tomorrow too, but not many. I think most of us stay dry. Saturday's a different story. Here we are starting off in the mid-80s. Remember that heat index at 8 o'clock is going to be about 94. But temperatures actually warming into the mid to upper 90s. Here's noon, a high temperature of 99 degrees during the noon hour. By noon, we're 99. But watch this. Do we get to 101? That's my forecast. Well, watch this. The storms come in. It takes us to 101, but then quickly cools us with the storms making their way through. This is now 3 o'clock. Watch what happens by 5 o'clock. Look at the storming. It's all around the area. Numerous severe thunderstorms during the day. Now, here's the biggest thing I'm wondering. Now, if we get the storms out of here enough time, 8:30, 9 o'clock, when the fireworks are starting, we might be totally dry and much cooler. We might not have nearly the heat that we have because the rain will help to cool things. That could be great news. So that's what I'm watching here. It may actually be looking better as far as the severe weather, or rather the temperature threat for the fireworks. So that's good. 103 tomorrow. Dangerous heat. That heat advisory or heat warning continuing through Saturday. Severe storms likely again on Sunday, possibly into Monday, and then you see what's happening there for all next week as temperatures get back around or even a little bit below average as we head towards the middle of next week. So back to 88, which will be cool.
Exactly. We're shivering just thinking about
it.
Doug, thanks. We'll see you at 11. Well, see you in September, D.C. Some great news from the Great Eight. The Caps announced that Alex Ovechkin will be back with the team this upcoming season. After uncertainty that surrounded Obi's NHL future much of last year, the NHL's all-time leading goal scorer returns to the Caps on a one-year deal. This will be Obi's 22nd season with the Caps. For more on Obi's return, here's J.P. Finley with the radio voice of the Caps, John Walton.
The news that Caps fans have been waiting all summer for has arrived. Alex Ovechkin, the greatest goal scorer in the NHL's history, is going to be back with the Washington Capitals. And this isn't some farewell tour. Keep in mind, Ovi scored more than 30 goals last year. He can still really play. And the way the Washington Capitals organization has rebuilt this offseason, they've added a lot more firepower. I think everybody was disappointed last year that the Caps missed the playoffs, and they did plenty to address that. And getting Ovi back now in a position where he's not going to have to carry them is going to go a long ways. The structure of this contract is also interesting. In the NHL salary cap era, this is not a big hit for a player like Alex Ovechkin. But all in all, this is a huge day for the Caps organization. Organizationally, Ted Leonsis on down, they all said they wanted Alex Ovechkin back, but they would respect his decision no matter what. In a statement, Ovi said, "I'm back. Thank you to everyone for giving me and my family the time to make this decision. I'm healthy. I love playing hockey and competing to win. I'm excited to come back and join my teammates so we can fight for a playoff spot and have a chance to win. See you in September, DC." And I know the DC fans are going to be very fired up to see Alex Ovechkin in September. Covering the Caps, I'm JP Finley.
Excitement is building in New York City on the eve of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding. It's believed the couple will say "I do" tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden. The NYPD was seen today offloading more barricades and placing them around the area where a rehearsal dinner is taking place tonight. Some Swifties are finding it hard to believe that Swift will get married at MSG, of all places, but you can only imagine what it looks like inside right now. A source tells NBC News that tonight's rehearsal dinner will have a garden theme, and they are actually building a castle for the big party tomorrow. The wedding is expected to start at 5 p.m. on Friday and stretch into the early hours of the morning. Sources say about 1,100 people were invited to the wedding. That's going to do it for the News 4 Rundown for this Thursday night, but be sure to join us right back here for News 4 at 11. For now, I'm Jim Hadley. Have a great night. Look at this spectacular sunset from the Washington Monument.